What can we expect from Westworld Season 3, Episode 4, The Mother of Exiles? We have a promo trailer, so let's take a look at it and find out. Hi everyone, this is Robert. Welcome to Deep Geek. I'll be covering Westworld Season 3 in full, so if you want episode breakdowns, explanations, live discussions and much more, please click the subscribe button in the bottom right of your screen and the bell icon. Last week's episode 3 focused mostly on Charlotte Hale, or the host within Charlotte Hale. It looks like this one will focus mostly on William, the man in black. This is his first appearance this season, so it'll be interesting to see what he's been up to. The last we saw of him at the end of Season 2, he was lying badly injured on the beach. His life was in ruins. Everything he'd been building for all of his life was gone. His wife, having discovered who he really was in the park, committed suicide. He had killed his own daughter, thinking that she was a host. And now the business he had built was collapsing around his ears. Expect to see him at rock bottom. We see some shots of him in this trailer gone back apparently to his old house. It looks like it's been trashed. There are what look like gunshots in the curtains. It's not clear whether he did all this or whether this might have been some angry mob, but clearly he is not in a good place. We see him apparently recreating his wife's suicide in that bath. We see him shooting a mirror as if he can't bear to see his own reflection. It's not clear whether this is really what is happening or whether this is some kind of memory that he's going through, because he's probably actually in this building. We've not seen it before, but it looks like it might be some kind of secure facility. In the voiceover, we get Dolores saying, presumably to him, that she guesses there is some justice after all, that he's a prisoner of his own sins. I suggest we don't take that too literally, but he does seem to be locked inside somewhere and unable to escape what he's done. The signs of his mental breakdown are clear for all to see. Not just that bath, but this looks like it might be a straitjacket in a mental hospital. The tagline for this episode that HBO have teased is "The truth doesn't always set you free." William here is facing up to the truth. He is being honest with who he is, but he doesn't seem free. He seems trapped by the truth. Also, yes, this is yet another biblical reference in a season that has been very heavy on the biblical references. The reason we are seeing William now is because Charlotte and Dolores need something from him. You'll remember that there's a corporate takeover battle going on with Delos. Over the last 2 decades, Serac has been buying out Delos through shell companies in microtransactions, all so small that nobody picked up the pattern before. He now owns a substantial chunk of the company and is trying to take it over. Dolores clearly doesn't want that. Her solution is to buy back shares from other shareholders and to go into private ownership, which would allow them to escape more scrutiny and, crucially, restart production of hosts. In order to do that, they would need the permission of major shareholder William. Dolores said last time to Charlotte that it was time to visit an old friend, William. In episode 1, we saw Charlotte at a board meeting, seemingly having got William's permission through that AI, so perhaps this is actually taking place before that board meeting, when they go and get his permission. In any event, we see Dolores and William together. She's dressed in her old rancher daughter's outfit, so we shouldn't necessarily believe everything our eyes show us here. This might be his perspective or how he sees her. He seems intent on telling her that he does know who he is, but we do have to doubt that. One other interesting thing here is the voiceover of Dolores saying, "If any of this was your choice." Does she now have the view that humans don't have free will either? It's possible. But this episode is not just about William. We also see this masquerade ball. From one of the pre-season trailers, this looks like where Dolores and Caleb go to find Liam Dempsey. This is interesting because when he last saw her, he was told that she was an imposter, and Connells saw to her removal. Connells has of course now been replaced by a host, so getting back to see Liam Dempsey won't be so hard. But why would they do it? Why does Dolores need Liam Dempsey now? Presumably she is on the hunt for Serac, and thinks that she can get more information out of Liam. Then we have a shot of some bad guys dying in slow time in front of Maeve. We probably shouldn't take what's happening with Maeve too literally either, as she spent most of episode 2 in a simulation and is still with Serac when we left her there. He was trying to persuade her to hunt down Dolores, so this, as the slow motion seems to indicate, might be another simulation. But it probably means we'll get more of Serac trying to persuade her of the rightness of his cause. I suspect that this is where this image comes in. There's no context for this, but I think we can piece some of it together. This looks like a thermonuclear incident of some kind. There's a mushroom cloud there. And we know from the pre-season trailers that there was one in France in the year 2025. Why is that important? Well, Serac is, it would appear, French. And in 2025, which is 30-something years earlier than the year we're told we're currently in Westworld, he would be a lot younger. Could he be that boy we see here, witnessing the thermonuclear accident? Could this be the thing which shaped who he was and what he wanted to do with his life? To create a supercomputer that prevents this kind of thing happening ever again. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section below, or join me on Sundays at 5 PM Eastern Time for my pre-show livestream. In Deep Geek, we'll be covering Season 3 of Westworld in full. The link to my Westworld Season 3 playlist is on the left of your screen, so please click on that if you want more episode breakdowns, discussions and theory videos about this season. Or if you'd like to support In Deep Geek, or get access to some of the content I create exclusively for my patrons, please click on the link on the right of your screen. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you again soon.